This is my 10th speech, as Manar already said, and it's my last speech in the Competent Communicator manual. And I've been actually putting it off a bit. I should have made it earlier, and I know that. And part of the reason is not because only it's my last speech in the manual and I would be not making speeches for a while, but also because I knew all along what the subject is going to be about. And the subject is extremely easy, but yet extremely elusive. So let me start by asking you first. Do positive people annoy you? Come on, let's be honest. Really positive people, sometimes they just get on your nerve with the happiness comes within. You can make your own happiness. You can be happy. So, people, you don't have to choose to be miserable and all that talk. Personally, they drove me crazy. I just couldn't get what they're talking about. How can anyone choose to be miserable? That does not make sense. Nobody made that conscious choice. So like everyone, I went through life, and when someone would go on talk about negative thoughts and negative energy and all this thing, I would go like, don't give it to me. This is what you read in books, and this is life. So just, and then I was stuck in traffic as usual in Alexandria. So I was thinking about life and what goes on, and the traffic was awful, so my ideas keep spiraling into my life, and it just happened. Suddenly I was thinking that, oh my God, I'm actually grateful for my life. Don't get me wrong, my life is not perfect. It has many problems and many mistakes, just as the rest of it. But I just figured, well, I would take the good with the bad, and I'm actually glad with where I am. I'm actually proud that I'm where I am right now. I'm not some manager in some company or anything, but just I am actually proud. So that was weird for me. It was like a switch, it just happened. And I wish I would tell you, oh, and then I discovered the secret of happiness because I didn't. Or I just uncovered something that most people don't know because, again, I didn't. All those cheesy quotes about how you make your own happiness, it's actually, suddenly it just started to make sense. That's it. It didn't, nothing changed in the quotes, it changed, the change was in me. And later on, I was reading a book. It's called Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. It actually was made into a movie, but I did not see the movie. I usually don't see a movie before I read it. So very lately I read that book, and in it Elizabeth Gilbert said that people universally tend to think that happiness is a stroke of luck, something that is maybe descend upon you like fine feather, if you are fortunate enough. But that's not how happiness works. Happiness is the consequence of personal effort. You fight for it, strive for it, insist upon it, and sometimes even travel the world around looking for it. You have to participate relentlessly in the manifestation of your own blessing, and once you achieve that state of happiness, you must never become lax about maintaining it. You must make a mighty effort to keep swimming upward into that happiness forever. And actually, she pretty much summons it up. It's right. Happiness doesn't happen. It just does not magically happen in our life. It's actually something that we have to work very hard to reach. And sometimes something would happen that you think, oh my God, if I lost that much weight, or if I had this job, or if I went to this college, I'm going to be happy forever. And then you have this thing, and you would be exuberant for a while. And then you start, it starts declining. That happiness just goes down simply. And you think, oh my God, this is not what I wanted. But, oh my God, that's not true. The problem is, you have reached happiness, but you didn't work to be happy. You had to actually work very hard to stay at that level of happiness. Because if you didn't, automatically you're going to go back to where you've been. There's a prayer that's called the Serenity Prayer. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, and the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Serenity actually is defined as the state of being calm, confident, and happy. Or not happy, just calm and confident and satisfied, which pretty much would lead you to be happy. So that prayer actually summons the whole thing up into two things. Life will put you in situations where you have to either accept it or change it. There is nothing about whining and complaining, which we all actually do. When I was younger, I would go to my mom with a problem, and I would go like, Mom, this and this is wrong, and I can't, and I would start talking and talking and talking. And then after I finished, she would tell me, okay, you have this number of options, you can do that, or that, or that. And I would tell her, that's too hard, that's impossible, that cannot be done, no. And then I would tell her, why are you trying to tell me what to do? I'm just talking, I'm venting. She said, what? If you have a problem, solve it. If you don't want to solve it, why are you talking about it? And I would just look at her and think, oh my God, that's the meanest thing. Why doesn't she hear me whine? I just want a simple whining, and then I'm going to move on. But I get her point. She doesn't know the Serenity Prayer, but she probably was talking about the same thing. Well, you don't like something, go ahead and change it. If it's not changing, try very hard to change it. If it's not going to change, then just accept it. No whining, no crying, no saying, why me? Why? What does this thing always happen to me? Oh my God, I'm so unlucky. No, we just have to accept it. That means being okay with it. Not talking about it and then 5 minutes later saying, okay, I am not going to remind you with what happened earlier. That's not actually accepting it. You have to be okay with it. It was Elizabeth Gilbert actually who said, you need to learn how to select your thought. Just the same way you select your clothes every day. This is a power you can cultivate if you want to control things in your life so bad. Work on your mind. That's the only thing you should be trying to control. And obviously that's correct. You cannot control people around you. You cannot control life around you. But you can control yourself, your thoughts. If you have that positive thought mentality, if you keep thinking that, okay, I'm going to accept this, okay, I'm going to change this, okay, I cannot accept it, but I'm going to try very hard to accept it. That's actually going to make the difference. That's what's going to make the change. Not the, oh my God, everything is going wrong for me and I don't like it and I'm going to complain till the day I die. That's not how we work. So you have to work very hard to control your thing. And just let me make something clear. God had blessed us all with brains. We should definitely use them. But like everything in life, it's bad when you don't use something, but it's just as bad when you overuse something. Have you ever heard of the term overthink something? We've all been in a situation where you decide, okay, I'm going to do that. And then you start to overthink it and overanalyze it and think about it and become very obsessed with it. And then you just say, okay, this is wrong and I'm not going to do it. No one told you this is wrong. Nothing actually indicated this except you thought it so much that in your mind you have done it and failed 1,000 times. So that's not actually a good thing. So we don't overthink and we don't not think. We just control what we think about. So at the end, happiness is what all humans want. Every human being, their motives and their actions are driven by that feeling and that need to feel that happiness inside of us. It's a state of it's a mysterious state of bliss that we want to have. So all we need to do is work and work very hard to do it. So all I have to tell you is please try to work hard to be happy, work harder to keep being happy, and that's it. Thank you very much.